Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Grey Mouse stream. Was going to leave it for a moment, leave it on the starting soon screen for a little while longer, but I just kind of want to get straight into my drawing. Mostly because it feels like it's been ages since I did it. Hope you're all well. This is the wrong pencil. There we go. I did pick up a new brush pen, which I'll be fiddling around with in like the warm-up and sketching opportunities. But it's basically, hold on. Nothing too like exciting, it's just a chisel tip. But I've not used one, but it would be quite useful for comic stuff and rendering really. But it looks like this. It's pretty cool. The most common like sketches I see on the store page are like eyes and stuff. So it looks weird that I'm drawing an eye on Ratchet's face, but you understand what I'm doing, of course. It's just testing its potential. It's probably more of a render brush or even a draft brush, really. Because I don't know how much detail I want to give stuff like that. Because I'm already putting so much detail and effort into the panels as it is. Do I really want to add more complexity to it? I don't know. Dunno. I would say no. We're on shadows today. Starting with one of my favorite layers. Not concern. I saw online that basically some people just fill in everything and then they erase out the stuff, and I do that with the soft shadows and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, that actually is fine. That's actually what I want, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Not yet. I'm sure I will be eventually. But I'm currently not. Kind of like just drawing it all out. Drawing out the shadows, building that space myself. Building that depth myself. But I'm sure maybe I'll come around to it if it makes things easier, if it makes things quicker, what have you. If it makes things look better, even more so. Even more preferred. Because usually with also a really good piece of like a really good panel, you're probably filling everything in shadow anyway, and you want those dynamic shadows anyhow. But I don't know. I'm still learning, so I'll figure it out with time. You know, the excuse I use quite primarily, like quite a lot, just, I'll figure it out. There's no rush. kind of just the level of quality and betterness that this looks like now that it's got just that depth, got just a little bit more depth. Get the wrong line. There we go. What needs to be filled in? These ones, that's, oh, hold on. Okay, cool. Then back to the face. That much gets filled in. It's a lot of hair that is just filled in. I'm wondering if I, just slowly chisel out a lot of what will end up just being complete shadow. Or just to avoid making it complete shadow, at the very least. So that there are nice layers. Oh, that was rough. There we go. Does that look right? I don't know. That should probably puff out and this can kind of be covered. But also, he has hands, and his hands cast a shadow. There's probably a bit of undershadow there as well. Underhang. Yeah. How are bodies supposed to work? How do you cast shadow on a body? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. Though I did, in my infinite wisdom and with my addiction to art reference books, I bought 2 books from Korea that are 3 books technically, that are all just reference books. And they were awesome. I can't read any of the writing. I mean, I can read some of the writing on some of them, but they're all just fundamental, like, art formations and how a body moves and twists and bends and stuff like that. Or the way it looks and how it would bend and things like that. Which is fantastic, and it's really carryable. It's like nice and light and portable. Unlike the one that I have right in front of me, Anatomy for Artists Drawing Form and Pose, which is a big phone book, essentially, that I can't carry around. So it's nice to have these little books that are almost just as comprehensive. Don't know if you guys have felt it, but today felt really long. It might be because I wake up early. Like, it could be that, but it does feel long. Today felt long. I don't know why. Do I feel like I got anything done? Debatable, I think. Did it feel long, though? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind about that last bit. Did it feel long? Absolutely. Felt crazy long. Is that enough? And pants. I'm just gonna do all of it as if it were one, just because it'll save a bit of time. I don't think I need to put that much. Oh, geez. Preferential treatment on these separations. And I think same again for the leather work of this dagger. Doesn't need to be that complicated. Underside has the shadow, because we get very little like light bounce from the ground. Get a little bit, and that's why kind of moving it around a little bit, but it doesn't need that much. Fill that part in by hand. And is there anything else that needs to be done here in this space? Yes. Shadows here. So start with one of ratchet. Oh. Accidentally added a guide. Get rid of it. I don't need it. Let me fail. I don't need a guide. It's probably that much. And then, yeah, very, very subtle shadow for Ratchet. But also can't forget his ears in that shadow. Or his goggles. His most defining features. And then just going to add a little bit of a shadow to the bush itself. To the underside of the bush. Tell you what, as well, like, so completely unrelated, but I've been really, like, sinking a lot of time into Baldur's Gate 3. And I love it, but it's so weird. I've spent such a long period of my time doing stuff for myself, or doing things that I've been able to excuse as being productive. And playing Baldur's Gate in the evening is like a step away from that. But I feel like I almost need to have some sort of excuse. Otherwise I feel guilty. I've just written that all in capitals. Hold on. Details layer. We've moved on from the shadows. But yeah, so I feel it's such a, like, weirdly dumb sort of thing that I need to explain myself for just having fun and playing a really fun, good game. But yeah, it's interesting that I feel like I felt guilty. I felt guilty that I wasn't doing something productive. And it's why, if you're in the Discord, it's why I mentioned that I'll gonna give myself the weekend, so I'm getting rid of my Sunday stream time. So then I scale it back to 4 nights a week, which is still a lot, really. But I'm scaling that back, just so then I have the weekends for myself, so I can be productive, but then also, not be productive in a way that I won't have to feel, or in a way that, is gonna help teach me that I don't need to feel guilty for doing things for myself and for fun. And that I can, get engrossed in Baldur's Gate and have fun. Or just do nothing, that also is good. Just spend an evening doing nothing. Drawing, or, planning a trip to Japan as well, like, could spend that evening planning. Or not, just, yeah, again, giving myself that freedom to actually to do whatever I want. So that's why there will be fewer streams. Again. Because, yeah, I also found that I was burning myself out. That doesn't look like a good highlight. Let's put something simple there. That even looks meh. Not convinced. Not convinced by Ratchet's hair. But yeah, it's so good. What a good game. And, like, a ton of fun. Then again, I should also say that sometimes it does feel a bit bullshit. I will admit that. It's one of these games where, when I'm in the more complicated combat, I go away from it being like, oh, this is bullshit, I'll see you tomorrow. And sometimes it does feel a bit unfair when I'm playing it. At least for me. like, some of the combat encounters feel a bit unfair. And I'm totally okay with that, because I just keep playing it, and then if I lose, try again. Try again until I succeed. It's not that I'm like, oh, this game is unplayable. I think if I was saying that, that's probably, you know, a problem. But I'm still playing it, still enjoying it. It can just be a bit bullshit sometimes. And that's okay, it's kind of got a right to be. It is what makes it challenging. You know, that an enemy might just pull a random, like, Hail Mary out of their ass, and then down half your team. It happens. Oh. Ratchet has triangular ear notches, not circular. Patelli's the one with the circular ear notches. Must remember that. But yeah. And just obsessed with my Warlock Clown Girl honkers. I knew I had to pick, like, a stupid character. I ended up picking a really stupid, or creating a really stupid character, and then I ended up just loving her, like, the way, just that it's fun, and then also just, she's like the best character ever. Hey, Silent Solidarity, how you doing? Just talking Baldur's Gate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? How's your day or evening going? I think I'll stick to that. Just a small amount to add detailing to, and then we can move on. It's good? That's good to hear. I'm glad. You're just chilling out, going to work. I have no idea what time zone you're in, so you could be doing either or both. But yeah, I'm glad. Currently playing, as I was saying with Baldur's Gate, I'm currently playing 3 games at once right now. Playing Nier, Subnautica, and Baldur's Gate, but I'm only playing Baldur's Gate for myself. The rest I'm streaming. And I think having that separation is really nice as well. I'm being a sleepless gremlin because it's almost 2 a.m. Ah, okay, you're part of that. You're part of that circle of the people who watch my stuff. It's really early in the morning, and you all, like, shock me with how you're all still awake. I think the only times I've ever seen 2 a.m. on my phone or clock or watch is if I've had, like, a really bad dream and woken up at that at that point. Sleep is below you. Sleep is beneath me. I am beyond it. No, you're not ascending. You're just dehydrated. I'm about to liberate my divine self from this mortal shell. Oh, hospital. Does that look good? Let's see. Does that look good, or does it make him look weird? A little bit column A, a little bit of column B. Let's just refill it. Same way that I filled the other one. Damn, 2 a.m. Where are you watching from? Out of curiosity. I think I've got a very basic idea of where you're watching from based on the time. But I'm not a master of time zones, so. It's 2 a.m. My mathematics tells me it's either America or Canada. I mean, I'm just having chronic insomnia and no medication, but I would still pull Zeus from Mount Olympus. Ah, Texas, yep. Mount Olympus if he dared to annoy you. That makes sense. Well, the fact that you don't have sleep, surely that's a buff, right? Just a permanent buff. I mean, not a permanent buff until you get sleep, but like... Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. As winter comes around, I'll probably get some of that sweet, sweet somnia. I seem to get weird, like, oh, I guess you probably can respect this since you're getting insomnia now in Texas, but I get insomnia in winter. Not entirely certain why, but that is just what it is. Buff too powerful can go into the void and be fine. Oof. A seasonal insomniac. Yeah, exactly. I'm a seasonal insomniac as well. Or I am. Maybe not. Maybe you're not seasonal, but I do have seasonal insomnia. And so summer seasons, I'm pretty okay. But then, yeah, when winter comes around, I'll be like up at 3 a.m. because I thought I heard a goose or a penguin knock on my door or things like that. So yeah, I'll have that to look forward to. Those streams when I've had like, yeah, 3 hours of sleep. Or however many hours of sleep I end up getting. We'll see. I'm gonna try and not. I'm gonna try and sleep. I feel like I'm in a better place now. So I'm more able to get sleep, but we'll see. I still get up in the middle of the night now. Just to check my doors are locked and things like that. Which is probably not a good sign. Am I forgetting anything? Check the previous panels. I do need the soft shadows, but I can get to that in a second. Honestly, I think yours is more instinctual from your past ancestors. Winter was dangerous time for the cavemen evolved. Yeah, that's fair. I also like, just as a additional like consideration is that also my apartment was broken into. Not while I was sleeping, of course. Oh, thank goodness. But like, yeah. So I have that kind of. I guess you'd call it trauma. But as a result, yeah, every so often or every few nights, I'm just like, is someone breaking into my house? Ugh. And then I just get up. Ah, trauma, that'll do it. Yeah, exactly. A fair, like, blanket kind of cause for things. If ever there was one. But ever since I started going to the gym and exercising and stuff and getting my energy out, that's really helped, like, tire me out at the very least. Do I want to give him a bit of blush? I don't know. Maybe. Can never be certain. Every time I draw a ratchet, it feels like it's like the first time. I get slightly better every time, but even then, I always feel like something is slightly off. He's also not got a tongue in this one, so I need to give him a tongue. Because, yeah, what's he doing without a tongue? In Texas, it's got to be pretty cold there now. Like snowing, right? I once faced a home intruder. I was only wearing pants and making a late night sandwich. Oh, that would be very confronting for both of you. Oh, because that's a detail. I mean, who gives a shit about the bloody intruder, of course, but... It snowed here, but it's warming up. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm honestly... It's been hot as hell this summer, so I'm definitely sick of the heat. I'm keen for some cold. I'm actually so sick of the heat, honestly. I'm actually reconsidering when I'm going to go to Japan this year and maybe go in the summer. So then when I go to Japan, or when I get to Japan, it's winter. Just because I'm so sick of the heat. Like, genuinely, I'm so sick of the heat. It's been, 35 degrees on a normal day, and that's boiling. You have a sword in every room of your house, so home intruder stood no chance. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that'll do it. Nice. That is just... I mean, Texan home safety, right? I should get a sword. That being said, I should get a bloody sword. It sounds great. Next time I'm at a convention, I'll pick up a sword. It's also because he's kind of got a neck and stuff. Some of these lines are also a bit thick, so I might even just... squeeze it down. Oh wait, no, that's... Ah, man. That's Procreate, never mind. Right now it's -2 degrees, give or take a degree since I'm translating from freedom units. Fair enough. I appreciate that you're even approximating, honestly. It's very good of you. I do not know freedom units. I only know metric. And that is it. I refuse to learn. I absolutely refuse to learn. And then soft shadows. And this should be the last thing. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. I've noticed something. Tiny little something. But Ratchet doesn't have his pants lines. His iconic little pants lines. He needs them. They give his outfit, that character that it needs. Let me translate to true freedom units. It's cold outside, don't go out. Fair enough. -2 is pretty bad. That's pretty cold. Yeah. But yeah, it's just been so bloody hot. I envy any kind of cool, because then I could just wear a jumper and a blanket. I could throw a blanket over myself and I'd be fine. Here, it's like, oh god, I'm too hot. What can I do? Well, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. So it's just, you can only take so much off before you're naked and also too warm. So there's no winning there. So yeah, but I'm super tempted to just, I'm gonna definitely go to Japan this year, that's for sure. But do I go during the cold? Maybe. You're the person that can go out in 0-degree weather in shorts? Ah, nice. Very impressive. I don't get enough 0-degree weather to even know for certain if I would. Be completely honest with you. Maybe. I like the cold, and I can handle the cold better than I can handle the heat. But it feels like it's been summer for so bloody long that I wouldn't know. Or maybe I've acclimatized to the heat. If only a bit, you know? It's made for the cold, not the heat. Yeah, nice. I think maybe I was too. Honestly, I think I was probably made for the cold, and then was forced to exist in a hot uh, area, hot land. Rest of your family were made for hot weather. Yeah, same here. Honestly, my entire family is better suited to hot weather than I am. But hey, what can you do? Take what I can get. Handle the cold, I'll just move to the cold. Just exist in the cold. I'd like that. Just a nice log cabin out in the snow. Perfect. Yeah, and then I also need to do the dynamic light, don't I? So we're not all the way close to being finished, but we're pretty close. These are the two easiest layers left, so pretty dang close to being done. Is that everything? No, there's one little blob, and there's two little blobs. There we go. Alright, then we fill it in, makes Ratchet look grey. Add a multiply effect, now he looks just darkened. And then we erase what we want the light to touch. How... It's, yeah, not opaque enough. There we go, much better. You have access to Alaska, so you can just throw yourself to its cold embrace. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because Australia is so, like, close to the equator, essentially. We've got nowhere that's cold all the time. Everywhere is, yeah, either hot or cold, depending on the seasons, and our cold season doesn't last very long. So I envy that too. Dang. It's gotta be nice just to have a cold. A place that is always cold. Or colder than where you are. Like truly colder than where you are. I'm Australian. The Australians have taken over your following. Yeah. Yeah, I am Australian. It is hard to tell sometimes, depending on how I talk. But yeah, it's because we're all streaming when you're about, you know. It's because of your sleep schedule more so than because of us. Your times just align perfectly with us. That's really good. That looks way better. There's a few things I need to fix, but like that's a pretty deep colored. A nice bit of depth added to it. People can barely tell you're American. Yeah, I get it. It's like people are so used to stereotypical accents that when you hear an accent that is slightly, I mean, this is at least my experience, but when you hear an accent that is not 100% from that, like fitting in that stereotype, then people will assume it's not that nationality. I get a lot of English. People ask if I'm English a lot. Sometimes I get asked if I'm American. It's because of my accent, because of how weird it is. Um, Especially since you're from the deep south of America. Oh yeah. There are other people awake besides us, besides the Australians. Oh yeah, I know that, but it helps, you know. We're all definitely awake at this time, so it kind of just fits perfectly. It took me almost a year before I started finding other Australian streamers and then also like Australian viewers. It took so long. I was getting Canadian and American long before I was getting Australian, which to me is hilarious. That I found it easier to find American viewers than I could find Australian viewers. Oh, that's not even the thing I want to do. I'm gonna leave it. It looks fine. It's a minute thing. It doesn't matter. Thinking eventually I will put soft shadows on everything because just like looking how good it makes Ratchet look in terms of depth. The horns of freedom come for you. They always did. They always do. The Americans and Canadians love love me. They want to free me. Just having a sip of water. I had a hydration reminder like ages ago and I didn't drink. So remember to stay hydrated. Be better than me. Hydrate on time. And remain hydrated. And remain hydrated. How the hell do you do that? Just stay hydrated, people. Everyone. Continue to be hydrated. There is no light. I would just... dang it. Alright, last layer before we move on. You're overly hydrated at all times. Damn. You just carry one of those camelbacks on you at all times? Where essentially you're constantly drinking water? Is that how you do it? Or are you just like, through osmosis, just taking in water? Are you a human dehumidifier? You're just sucking in moisture all the time? Because that's kind of cool. Okay, that's good. And then we need some light. Just very subtle. But also just all around the front of the rat boy. The moisture is mine. You just take it. This belongs to me now. I am become hydrated. The creator of hydration. Definitely not the creator of water, because you take that from other people. But yeah, you do have a camelback thing when you go out, but when you're in the house, you just have a 2-gallon water pitcher next to you and a cup. Nice. That would do it. Yeah, it doesn't need too much light, does it? Just a little bit. Gonna make just really big brush size and then just a quick over. That'll do. I actually don't know how much this water bottle is. It's just under 2 liters, so maybe it's 1.5 liters of water. But I'm also just really scatterbrained and I forget to fill it up. Because you also have to filter the water in Adelaide. Or you should. You can, like, not. You can choose not to filter the water. But I always do, because I've seen what it does to kettles. And I don't want that in my body. You forget to fill up your pitcher as well. ADHD. You know what? I'm very quickly beginning to understand or come to the terms with the fact that I probably do have ADHD. I have insane focus for certain things, but other things, nah. Sometimes I forget that I have keys in my hand because I just wasn't paying attention to the keys in my hand. And things like that. So I can very much respect that. Just a bunch of peas in a pod. All of us just forgetting to do shit because we get distracted by other shit. Join the fun side of life and embrace your ADHD, noob. I didn't. The problem is I just have never been able to accurately classify it, you know? Because I'm... Ah, damn it. I'm not... What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say here? I think I had a lot of, like, my behavioral norms. I was raised in a way in which they were kind of not beaten out of me, but like, conditioned out of me, in a sense. Don't worry, fellow ADHD people can identify others easily. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I've found myself amongst like-minded people, and these like-minded people all have ADHD, so it's like, well, maybe I should be looking inwards. Yeah, I think, for me, it's very hard to explain, or even hard to classify, just because, yeah, so much of it's been conditioned to manifest in different ways, and especially in ways that don't necessarily come across as stereotypically classic conditions of ADHD. Because I've always been hyper-focused on things, but I think the likelihood is that I've been hyper-focused on things that are my interests more so than things that I'm not interested in. But then when you have, like, subjects like mathematics, which I was critically bad at, it starts to make more sense that it just wasn't one of my interests, so I never had that focus for it. And that's where, like, the ADHD was more clearly visible when I was at school, was in things that I had no interest in, so as a result, nothing stuck. Hyperfixation on special interests, big ADHD flag. Yeah, exactly. And it makes sense now, for sure, but when I was a kid, the things that I was interested in, were illustration, which, as a kid, completely normal, like, in no way kind of atypical behavior. And then, what else was I interested in? Jesus. Video games. Or some video games. Specific video games. Other ones I could never finish. Again, big ADHD stuff. Like, I recognize it now as a grown adult who now works in a field that involves identifying traits of ADHD, among many other things. But, yeah. But also, since it doesn't affect my life, really, I've never been bothered to get it diagnosed after a certain point. That'll be where it goes, yeah. I got diagnosed in kindergarten or something. Yeah, fair enough. And that's cool, because then you'll know. Because I would say if I knew earlier, and if I had been diagnosed as a kid, I'd be glad I got diagnosed, for sure. But because I'm now an adult, and I never got diagnosed, it doesn't bother me. My life is now built and normalized living without that diagnosis and living without adjustments to that diagnosis. So as a result, it would feel out of place to be diagnosed and be given resources to manage it, because I do manage it. And maybe it was, sneaky, secretive resource providing by people who know me well, or not. But either way, it doesn't affect my life in a way where I feel the need. I can tell you one thing: half those ADHD meds don't work. Exactly. Why would I want a prescription for medication that half of them don't work? Screw that. That sounds boring. Sorry, that's terrible. Yeah, and I don't know. How's that gonna look? That's probably okay. Just staring down. Should the arm be in the front or the back? It should probably be in front of his hair. Really. Because it doesn't fit there. Don't make sense. But yeah, it's such a fascinating thing. But I was also talking with someone, and I'm just like, there are certain things that I can't even comprehend as being normal. Even to neurotypical people. But also come across as very neurodiverse in the way that they present. Like being very consciously aware of space and things like that. Not space as in what's above and below us, as in like time and space. I mean like personal space. Like that's one thing that, as I've slowly become more aware of who I am as a person, I'm still confused about these things in particular. So like, I would never in my right mind, willingly stop walking in a corridor when I knew there were people behind me. Or I would never walk down the middle of a pathway, like on the middle part of the pathway. I'd walk to the left or to the right, depending on, you know, availability of the space, but I would never walk just straight down the middle of a pathway. And it's like, oh, that's probably, like, in my head, I'm like, that would not surprise me if that was described as a non-neurotypical thing to do. And in my head, all I can think is, why the hell is that not neurotypical? Because the opposite of that is selfish and annoying. You know, I can't be the only one who thinks this, like, surely. Gonna be confused forever, neurotypicals don't make sense, and that kind of bothers me. Like, that actually kind of bothers me, in that the neurotypical way of that is selfish and stupid, like, and like, just dumb. It doesn't make sense to me because it's like, oh, this is the worst way to do this thing. That's neurotypical. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is the worst way you could possibly do this thing. The way that causes the most disruption and annoyance to everyone around you. Oh, that is neurotypical. What do you mean by that? Wait, what do you mean by that? Seriously. You can't be serious. That's neurotypical behavior? Getting to the bottom of an escalator and stopping walking? So then the people behind you have to walk around you? They are inefficient, selfish beings. I hate that. I hate that so, like, I genuinely hate that so much, because it's just like, oh, this is like a neurotypical behavior. Standing in a doorway and talking to someone, so then the doorway is covered by two people who now basically block the intersection. If you were two cars that were parked in the front of an intersection, you'd be arrested. But then again, maybe that's something else that doesn't translate, you know? Or at least doesn't translate to me, is that, like, I guess it's the, like, structure of, I'm even trying to explain around it or in a way to kind of understand it, but it's like the way a neurotypical brain works with that in mind feels so closed, so closed off, and not, like, human focused as well. It's just like, not community focused. It's person centric, which then again, I guess, kind of explains why it's been so hard to get recognition and care and resources to people who have neurodiverse behavior, because it's not neurotypical, which I'm slowly learning is more involved, and, you know, all these things that really bother me. Don't like this bit because it doesn't make sense. It'd make his ribs too wide to do that. Yeah, that shit's never gonna make sense to me then. The more I understand that I'm not the less I understand about neurotypical people, and the more I understand that I'm not neurotypical, the more confused I am. Or I guess less confused, but more annoyed. I'm more annoyed. Can't believe this. Can't believe this. No, it makes sense. I just thought those people were idiots. Sorry. That's not nice. I just thought they were fools. That's not... Is that gonna be too... Yeah, that's way too wide. Start with the pants. Just get the pants all done and dusted. Oh, ad? Ad starting soon. If only us neurodivergents could get together and take over the world, we could fix these things. Sadly, the attention span don't allow it. I don't, like... I think you say it yourself. I just don't think any of us could solve that kind of problem. And I definitely don't think it's a neurodivergent, neurotypical kind of thing. Divide. It's just a, like, just stop being assholes. Hey, Gwendolyn, how you doing? I hope you're well. I'm just getting things revealed to me about having ADHD and what neurotypical actually means and stuff like that. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Shocked about how much is actually like neurotypical and not, and it's blowing my mind, blowing my little brain. Apparently you were very tired and slept a lot. That's good. I hope it was a restful sleep. At very... Wow. Bad with words. At the very least. Very restful. Nice. That is something. A win in my books. Oh man, actually, if I do play my cards right, I should get this page done today. That actually would be awesome. Just having that realization now. I felt like I could finish this page today, but I wasn't sure. I've had a weirdly long day, if you can believe that, Glenn. Have you just woken up as well, just as a question? Because we've had a few streams where you've just woken up. So I'm curious. It still feels way too wide for a dagger handle. Still too wide. It's better. Is it ideal? No idea. It's fine. It'll be okay. And then I need to draw Ratchet's hammer. It's pretty much just that. Drawing it almost more top down for this one. I don't feel confident about that. It's almost top down, but not. And that's what bothers me, is just the not bit. The fact that it is not top down, but it should feel almost like it's top down, actually fucks with my brain. Because, like, sure, I can imagine a 3D object rotating in my head. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt my head. It's 9:30 a.m. for you. You can still sleep long, but that will change once you start work again. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've slept in. I kinda miss it. I mean, like, I definitely do miss it. Waking up early in the morning sucks. It's the worst. People call me a morning person, they just don't know. They don't know the truth. I'm lying to them and myself. Not a sleepless gremlin. Glenn has been known to be a sleepless gremlin at points that I have seen in chat. Every so often, we'll get a sleepless gremlin Glenn. As is the norm for this stream, for anyone in this stream. I think a lot of people in my chat have bad sleep schedules, including the streamer themselves. But what is a normal sleep schedule, really? It sounds complicated. It sounds like a commitment to something that I just don't want to be a part of. Regular sleep. Not when I've got so many drawings to do. Or, gosh, trying to think of other examples of things that I do when I go to bed. Books to read. I've got so many books to read. I've recently finished not page even, that's worse. That's less. That's less. Grave ass, you idiot. No, I've just finished volume 10 of Chainsaw Man, so the manga, which is, oh, it was so good. Like, holy crap, it just knocked my socks off. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself to get a normal sleep schedule. Yeah, exactly, and that's very fair. I think, just listen to what your body is telling you, more so than the regular, go to bed at what's a normal time to go to sleep? I don't know. I don't even know. I like getting up with the sun. That's actually like evolutionarily, I've heard that's very good. But yeah, just because people tell you this is the normal time to go to sleep, nah. Stay up till midnight, and then wake up at 3 p.m. You do you. You do you, sweaty. This eye is fine. This one is not. But one thing I've really enjoyed, or one thing that has been really validating for me as an illustrator, reading a manga, is watching this, or looking at this published material and seeing illustration issues. Like, that feels really validating, because I'm like, okay, cool. I shouldn't be putting so much pressure on myself to make sure everything is perfect. Sleep schedules for neurotypicals operating by vibes is... operating by vibes is where it's at. Twitch, please give me an ad that isn't about cars. Sorry, they're all about cars. Or Persona 3. I got 2 Persona 3 ads back to back while watching The Organized Chaos Lethal Company stream, which was a very good stream. I need much sleep to feel rested. My body is very demanding. It's fair enough. Gotta listen to the needs of your body. Why does this mouth in particular feel weird? I don't know. You were thinking about getting Persona 3. I have not heard anything about it. I've seen the ads, and it looks good. It looks like Persona 5, but with a different kind of color template or a color palette, which is cool. I love Persona 5, so I'd still be keen to see, but I don't know. I say you should get it and let me know how it is. Lethal Company is always a fun time. Yeah, it looked like so much fun, and it was really fun to watch as well. It's such a such an easily enjoyable watch, which is really good. And it's why it's such a good thing to stream. In order for sleep to be worth it, it has to be 10 hours. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. My body varies in that I can sometimes go to bed at 10 and wake up at 5, and I feel more rested than sometimes when I'll go to bed at 9 and wake up at 9, you know. Banishes of Eden or something dropped recently, and it's supposed to be quite good. Oh yes, Banishes of Eden. I know a streamer who's been playing it, and it looked fantastic. So Enya Fairy was playing it recently, and it did look super cool and really, really interesting. So I'm sure that one is highly recommended as well. I've not played it either. I'm currently playing 3 games. If you want a recommendation from me, Baldur's Gate is great. Really enjoying Baldur's Gate. But my recommendation for Baldur's Gate is you should play as a goofy character, because that's fun. Play as something stupid. Because then you get all these cutscenes, and then you've just got a weird, you've just got this weird looking character just there, which enhances the game by 100%. For me, at least. Games dropping and immediately being well received is rare nowadays. Oh yeah, absolutely. What we had, the Golem game, the Kong game, those ones coming out and they're just being absolutely awful. So yeah, if there's a game that does come out and is actually well received, then that should really be celebrated. Because it does feel rare. It's definitely felt rare this year, but hopefully they're learning. Hopefully game developers are learning that you have to put effort into these games. You can't just drop, half-assed garbage anymore and not expect to get backlash or, no one playing the game. Should put the ears up. Not ears, the wings. Wings of our sweet little lad, Aratohu. Do that much, that's fine. I think that's everything for the line work, if I am correct. One thing I was potentially going to do, moving into the fact that I do 2 gaming streams and now 2 illustration streams, is that on my gaming streams, I might even start leaving my drawing page open, and then in certain games like Lethal Company or Subnautica, if an enemy or monster kills me, I'll just draw it in the side tab as if I was an explorer and I'd found a new animal or creature, Because that's something Tauren does. Not just creatures that kill her, but when she was playing Baldur's Gate, she'd draw characters that she met. And I kind of like that idea. So I'd kind of like to do that. You like that? Yeah, I just need to make sure that it fits, like, or it doesn't, like, completely overclock my PC. That's the only kind of consideration, is that it needs to still work well with my PC. So if I'm playing video games and I've got the drawing page open, is that going to be okay? Like, RAM speed wise, it should be fine, but even so, I don't want to push it too hard. But I'd be keen to do that. Because, like, we don't see much on the gaming screen. Like, the background is very... It's nothing, actually. It's just the game completely. So I've got some space that I could play around with, putting just a little tab to the side, which is, like, a little drawing screen. And if I were to play Lethal Company with Organized Chaos or whoever, then if a creature killed me and I was out of the game for like 10 minutes, I'd have time to just sit and draw whatever got me. Unless it was Gravity, then I'm just going to have to draw a POV shot. But yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool. I'll run some tests. Next Subnautica stream, I'll test out if it works. And I just realized, as I've drawn this part of the backpack, that I do not have his little backpack straps. Yet again. I keep forgetting to draw them. I can't wait until the bit where I don't have to draw them anymore. Where he drops his backpack, puts it down, never picks it back up again. It's just like how in the Castlevania TV series, like the animated Castlevania TV series, they put Trevor Belmont's chain whip behind his cloak and then never showed it again. You might play again next Sunday. If we do, you'll let me know. Sweet, thank you. I will definitely be available on Sundays now. And I'll make sure that I'm actually there in time. And not playing Baldur's Gate. I don't know why I didn't get the notification from Cap, but yeah. Usually Sundays are the way to go. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah, I've just removed my Sunday streams, so I will be free. We also figured out how to use mods, and it's pretty easy. Sweet. I have been downloading mods for a bunch of games, so I will be down to play modded Lethal. Never played vanilla Lethal, so why not just jump to modded? I think it's probably better, for the best. I can spoil myself with the mods. I'll check in with you all and see what mods you have. I did notice there was a mod that would change your character into a rat, and I was like, tempting. That's a tempting one. It's my whole aesthetic. It's just a Lethal Company mod that is just my aesthetic. Right down to a T. But we shall see. I have also, while I was downloading mods for Lethal, I did find the Elden Ring randomizer one, and I was just like, ooh, I've never played randomizer, so I'm gonna do that. I'll jump back into Elden Ring for myself. Because it's been a while since I used mods, because I used to use mods all the time for Skyrim. I really don't need to put in a background, but the last times I've not put in a background or felt that I didn't need to put in a background, I've always gone back and been like, I should put in a background. Randomizers are fun, never tried it though. That's fair. I've watched other people play around with them, and they do look like a lot of fun. And because I've played a lot of Elden Ring, I do feel compelled to play it again, but I don't want to play it through the same way. Still have not finished any Souls-like solo. I mean, that's fair enough. That's totally okay. It's, gaming is about having fun. And as long as you're having fun, you're winning. Honestly, I think I've only completed Bloodborne and Sekiro solo. Like, first time I've ever played them, completed them solo. Everything else I've summoned to finish. So I can fully respect that. And I only completed Sekiro and Bloodborne solo because I couldn't summon for them. Because Sekiro doesn't have a summoning mechanic. And then Bloodborne, I didn't have the PlayStation Network, so I couldn't. Dark Souls 2 was the first game you finished in co-op. In your opinion, the best Dark Souls game for co-op. Okay, I can believe that. I've watched Happy Souls. I can believe that. I love that that's like, to me, that's like, oh yeah, everyone who's played Dark Souls 2 has watched Happy Souls. So Glenn will know what I'm talking about. Panically staring at chat. Color. I've never played Dark Souls 2 as well. Just as a reveal. No hate to it. Can confirm. I too watched Happy Souls. Yeah! Knew it. Yeah, so I've never played Dark Souls 2, and I've also never played Demon Souls. And I watched Dark Source by Aaron's Mind. Oh, cool. That one doesn't ring a bell for me, so I maybe have missed that one. Never seen Happy Souls, played Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring. That's fair. So Dark Souls 1 was my first ever Souls-like. I bought it in a bargain bin when I was like 13. And I was too scared to leave the Undead Burg. So that's how, I was very young, and I was too scared to leave the Undead Burg, essentially. So I put it down, I never picked it up again. Well, I didn't pick it up again for many years. And then I picked it up again in senior year of high school, and just fell in love with it. And then it became my entire personality for many, many years. That and Skyrim. Skyrim was a big part of my personality for a very long time. And then I outgrew Skyrim. Elden Ring was very tough and fast. I'm not a persistent person when it comes to things I'm bad at, so I dropped it quickly. That's, I also can very much respect that. Elden Ring, when I came to it, I'd played through Sekiro, I'd played through Bloodborne, I'd played through Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1. And then I got to Elden Ring, and I was like, they've completely changed the timings of attacks, and it destroyed me mentally for such a long time. And so I had a lot of trouble with Elden Ring as well, because I just couldn't get the timing down, because it felt so different. And I could see old attacks in the new creatures that were reminiscent of old attacks in Dark Souls, but the timing was different, and it was just I was like, why do I suck so much at this game? I see you're awake. I spent more time in the character creator. in Elden Ring than the actual game. That's also fair. The character creators in the Souls-like games are very, like, deep. You can go fucking nuts on them. Like, I made characters called Cheesemen and things like that, and they just look like wheels of cheese. It's great. It's so much fun. Still haven't killed Elden Beast despite having a character right outside the boss fight. That's fine. Elden Beast is tough. I can respect that. Oh no. Your Souls characters are always cursed. Yeah, that's what I love to hear. I love to hear that. You make cursed characters. I love it. Good on you. I do that too. All my characters. I can't do serious characters anymore. I love making goofy characters. It's my favorite thing. Goofy weirdos. My favorite genre of character creation. You do your best to make yours divine. Oh, so do you go for the like opposite route where you make yours like as pretty as possible, as beautiful, as humanly possible? My character in Baldur's Gate is beautiful in a way, but she is a clown girl named Honkers. And she's very pretty, but also, like, really ridiculous looking. Which I do kind of love. My chosen undead will be the best looking undead in all the worlds. That's great. I love that. You love Honkers. You also love Corbus. Yeah, both Corbus and Honkers, two characters who are not the most serious of, like, characters, but beautiful nonetheless. I might make some... Oh, gotta get comfy. In my Corbus hoodie. Available in shops 2027. Unless I'm doing a strength build. That's fair, then you gotta make them look tough. And I respect. Yeah, but... Still working on a Corbus. So the animated emote for Corbus will be probably him screaming. But then I have... What am I doing? Ratchet's skin color. But then I have one which is the one I thought of while watching the Lethal Company stream, but the like... The little, like, noise rod, the one that goes, when you, like, flip it. The looks reflect the build. Yeah, nice. That's nice and tailor-made. But yeah, so I'm working on a Grey Mouse emote, animated emote, where I just, like, turn one of those noise rods and it just goes, it won't make a noise, but it'll just look like it's going, I'm doing that because that was a running joke in my chat for a while. And it still makes me giggle. But yes, I don't think I'll make a Honkers emote because Honkers has not appeared in any of the streams. And she never will. But she might appear on stickers and stuff because I just like her design so much. And I see so many people posting their, like, tabs and stuff. So I may as well just do the same. Where am I? Where am I? There. Because I keep forgetting to give Ratchet teeth. Those are a little too close. There we go, that's better. And then just fill it in immediately. I'm also thinking of changing my gaming, like, starting screen to something that will include Corbis. It'll basically be a radio station recording room with, like, a bunch of stuff prepped and ready for recording, essentially. But then Corbis and Punga are my audio technicians. So they'll have their, like, little control booth where they're prepping stuff. And I thought that'd be very cute. Oh wait, it's that color because it's pants. It's that color because it's pants, yes. I know English. I know English good. I speak good English. Okay, it's now just about filling in tiny little white spots. So that we don't get weird color like guff. I'm not the most convinced by this line work, but it's okay. It's a little bit rough, but it also kind of can be. Shouldn't be beating myself up over line work. Especially when it's not actually that bad either. Just scanning really, really close. So that I can make sure that no stone is left unturned. That'll do it. I say as I continue to meticulously search. I do that a lot. I'm just like, and that'll do it, and I'm satisfied, and then I'm not satisfied. English good enough to make people believe I grew up speaking it as a first language. I mean, it is my first language, but sure don't feel like it. Nice. I get that. English is my first language, and I'm still really bad at it. So people believe that it's not. People believe me when I tell them that my first language is French. Because I'm so bad at English. I don't even have a second language I can speak. I got like 8 or 9 I can read. That's cool. That's very impressive. I think reading other languages is such a fantastic skill to have because, like, honestly, you don't really need to talk to people to understand what's going on in a country that isn't your home country. Like right now, I'm just trying to learn enough Japanese to kind of get by for when I do go on my trip. But most of it is just being able to read common phrases and common signs, essentially. So that I don't get too lost. I just like folklore, and not a lot of countries translate their folklore into English. That's fair. I mean, that makes sense. It's disappointing, but it makes sense. I mean, I love folklore. So much of this, you'll find that this comic, so much of it is, its foundations are in folklore of other countries. And it's part of why I don't know languages quite as well as you, but so much of what I've learned has had to be translated. Just so that I could understand it and learn from it. The primary ones, of course, are Finnish, and those lesser known Scandinavian folklore, so I didn't use Scandinavian mythology. Or I didn't use too much Scandinavian mythology, but I used a lot of folklore and small communities folklore. Stares at Romania in disdain. None of their stuff is translated. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's frustrating, but it's also just like, shit. Ain't that always the way? Something you really want to know about, it's never translated. I'm basing the goblins' language off of Maori. And because it is, I don't know why specifically, but it's such a under-translated language. So much of it I'm actually having to learn by having to learn Maori and learn the context and the like groundwork of understanding Maori, just so that I can translate or create translations for Goblin, like Goblin speak, because it is just such an under translated language. I was dog shit at English until I started realizing I was queer and had to watch English queer shows online because there were no German ones. That really does help with the like learning a language. That's for sure. That's great. Maori, this one? Yeah, that one. Maori. Yeah. So, to kind of step away from Dungeons and Dragons, which at the time I had started started illustrating on this comic, Dungeons and like Wizards of the Coast were in hot water over a proposed change to their contract with people who were making second party or third party D&D derivatives. And so to take steps away from that, so that I wasn't going to get sued for using something that was based on D&D, I changed a lot of stuff. And so now goblins are still referred to as goblins, but they're also known as Katai, the Katai people, because their homeland, this land here, is called Kaitiaki. I don't know many Polynesian languages. That's fair enough. There's so many languages to learn, and so many things to learn and understand. You got time. You want to do it before the brain starts to relax. Smart move, yeah. But yeah, they're called Katai. And then I had to learn a bunch of Maori pronunciation on stuff, just so that I could do it justice as well, because I wasn't going to just cheaply translate stuff through Google Translate just so it sounded different. So I have an entire script. Your brain will never relax. You won't let it. Nice. Fair enough. I can respect that. I feel that in my core. But as an example, so there's something over here. But this little stuff in yellow, That's Katai. That's the Katai written language. And there is a way of reading it because I wrote it in a way that so that it could be read, but it's a spiritual and religious way of reading text. So it has spiritual and religious context. So I'm not revealing any of the translation for a very long time, just so that I can, one, iron it out and make sure it's, as refined as it can be before it is released to the public. And then two, so then people can learn it themselves. But basically, this thing here actually reads something, and it doesn't read in English. So if you can translate those squiggles and stuff, taking a stab in the dark that says peace, incorrect. Good guess though, but incorrect. But sorry, what was I even saying? But yeah, to even do that, I basically had to create a language that translated directly into Maori and not into English. And then create the language or the written language from that. So if you can translate it, it'll translate directly to Maori. So you're going to have to need either learn Maori or figure out the translation and then translate it from Maori, essentially. So I'm making, the wiki creators in the future, their job's really difficult, but also making it interesting. And we all get to learn something together. Good guess, I was close. Sort of. Broadly speaking, in the context of it, yeah, pretty close. The word itself, a little off. But yeah, you're like and that's also the thing, because Maori is such a condensed and shortened language. A lot of it is contextual, so you will be able to guess at some of the stuff and some of the words. You could probably, because a few more of those will start popping up in this comic a lot more. You can probably guess some of these and be right. Like, genuinely, I think there are a few that will come up where you could probably guess and you'll be like, yes, got it. And you'll be 100% correct. I won't tell you, of course, but they will come up. And it's because so much of the language is contextual, which I do think is quite cool. So then it's not impossible for you to understand through context clues what the word means. Because as we get further and further along in this volume at the very least, certain characters are going to start speaking it too. And it won't be just a Maori word written in a speech bubble. It'll be Katai written in a speech bubble. And so it's going to be really complicated. But it'll only be the things that are actually very easy to discern through context clues. So I would never just put some whole sentence into a speech bubble that was all in Katai. That would be impossible to read unless I really, really wanted you not to be able to read it for a particular reason. But that's one part of the comic that I've actually really loved doing, is making a language, and making a language that is complicated but then also simple once you understand it. And my big hope is that eventually people will read the comic, come back and reread it, and be like, now that I know Katai, I know that this person is saying a swear word. Or something like that. That's the wrong way. I always find, if in doubt with shadows, just point downwards. It's not always accurate, but usually when it's not obvious, then I'll know the answer. I'll know the answer anyway, so. And then as an example of just verbal Maori in this comic, let me see if I can find him. He's not hugely visible in this panel. Oh, not panel, this page. You can see his wings and stuff. Oh, well, actually, he's right there. So this little bee here, this bee plushie that hangs from Ratchet's belt. Hey, Smiley, how you doing? How are you? Just talking about Aratohu. So this character, his name, well, their name is Aratohu, which, if written, it's written as Aratohu, oh, Aratoho, but it, when pronounced, is Aratohu. Just dropping by to lurk. All good, Smiley. Have a good lurk. It's lovely to see you, as always. Yeah, as I was saying. So his name is Adatohu. And they will never be, like, talked about outside of the Maori word, just because it'll be easier for people to understand. But as people start speaking in Katai, they'll start referring to other things as what they are in Katai. And it'll be a little harder to understand, but that's okay. Y'all figure it out. You're all smart people. But I am very excited for that. To have characters to speak in Katai, and then people to be like, what do you think they were saying? I theorized that they would say that they should murder a person or things like that. Not that I think that would be fun, but to have this unpredictable aspect to the comic. You messed up my name. My name's Smiley, making me cry. Cheeky. Did I? Nope, I got it. Oh, there. My knuckles. No, you can't do that to Smiley. Smiley's the nicest. We adore Smiley. Let them be. Oh, it's almost 2 hours. I might push on. So close to the end of this page. Let's just push on. I can play Baldur's Gate in my downtime another day. We must finish this comic. Love and affection. Please. Like a little smoke bomb. Oh, that's the wrong one. I was thinking about buying more flower bulbs again. Ooh, yeah? What are you thinking of growing? I'm making exam scripts overtime. Must push on too. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, then I'll stay live in solidarity. At least until I finish my work. Can stick around. We could stick around and make sure that we get our shit done. And then I'm just like, oh, I finished, and then I just like leave. Just don't even raid out. I just close the stream, disappear, leave Smiley to do their work in silence. Can do it. Yeah, you got this, Smiley. I'm not even worried. Not that I would be. But you got this. Is that good? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. It's a okay shadow. It's an absolutely tolerable shadow. I'll give his hands a little bit of shadow too. Little ratchet. Dahlias, anemones, lilies, Alcea rosea, and some other summer autumn flowers. Lovely. That's a really nice selection. I do enjoy a bit of gardening, and I'm a bit of a green thumb. I've never planted flowers, I'll admit, but I do know of them because my mum is really good with roses. Those are some lovely flowers. I recognize 3 of those names. All depends if you can make space for them in time. That's fair, yeah, because certain types of flowers really do need that space to grow, don't they? Can send pics in the Discord once your garden starts to blossom. Ooh, please do. Please do. I'd love to see that. Yeah, I love living vicariously through other people, especially people who have gardens. I am very envious. I'd love to have a garden. Yeah, please do send them through because I'd love to see that. Gives me ideas for when I eventually get a place of my own. A home of my own. One day. One day. Then I can grow whatever I want. Within reason. I have lots of space for it, but most of it's overgrown. That's fair. That'll happen. That happens. That just means that the soil is very good. Right? I don't know. Sort of, but maybe not, right? You have a garden shelf. That's great. My apartment currently is just terrible for it. Terrible for growing stuff because it doesn't get a whole lot of light, even if I have the windows open and stuff like that. So I'm making do with what I have, but what I have is very, very little. Hugely minute. I have indoor plants. I've got a Monstera deliciosa. I've got a Monstera alocasia. No, not alocasia. A Monstera addisoni. That's the one. I have an Alocasia bandura and an Alocasia portadora. Hey! Sariaka! How you doing? Haven't had a garden in forever. Yeah, I miss having a garden. I used to have a garden. Now, nothing. Don't even have, a slab of concrete. I don't even really have a backyard. I love that you butcher your name differently every time I come in. I put emphasis on it this time, because I knew I was gonna get it wrong, but I wanted to get it wrong with emphasis this time. Zadiaka! Actually doing quite bad. I can't speak because your throat is all fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is unfortunate. I hope you're taking the time to rest. Rest your voice, your vocal cords. Because, yeah, that sounds very rough. Did you eat rocks and that messed up your throat? That will do it, but rocks are just so Moorish. Post a picture in Discord. Post your pic. Ooh, thank you. Is it the sort of thing you'd be happy for me to show the stream? I'm gonna check it first. Ooh, yeah. Amazing. Let's jump over to post your pickies. It's your garden shelf. It's beautiful. That's a nice garden shelf. Punga, pull up the Discord. I understand rock's just too tasty. Too tasty. They're delicious. I like it. Oh, and you've got the grow lights. Very nice, very nice. Is that a clear... Oh no, it's not a clear shelf, but you have a set of lights beneath it, beneath that shelf. That's a good shelf. You've really made the best of the space that you have. You're killing it, mate. Dramatic lighting for the plant shelf. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love a bit of dramatic lighting. I actually really like grow lights, especially the ones that have that like pink light in them, because like at night they look really beautiful. Bottom are white lights and the top are red and white lights. Yeah, the red and white LEDs I really like. They just got like a really fantastic color to them. And I've got one myself, like a spotlight version of it, and it's almost got like a hatched version of that lighting, and like the light drop on the ground is really nice. Like it looks really cool. I'm a bit of a nerd for lighting, if you haven't already noticed from just the sheer amount of lighting work I put into my comic and stuff. But yeah, I'm a big fan of lighting and stuff. So, and this is such a beautiful looking shelf. You've really made a good bit of work of it. Let me go and dump in your Discord real quick. Hey, go for it. Go for it. Please do. We're looking at beautiful gardens and beautiful plant spaces. So I'm all about it. Actually, while you're doing that, I'm going to just have a quick tipple of water. If you haven't hydrated, please do. It's for the best. Oh. Liquid sustenance. Delicious. Delicious. Heavenly. And what plants are these as well, Smiley? If you're not too busy, I don't want to distract you from your lurk, but I am curious. I love the plants that do have like a bit of color beyond the green. So the ones that have that purple underneath it are tip top. They have some pink arrows, which are beautiful. They grow out pink, and I'm a big fan of them. One of them looks like a succulent. Yeah, this one, right? This little one. It's got those succulent leaves. Whoa! We just got a big post of garden stuff, and it already looks really cool. So I gotta quickly jump across. Yes. Oh, that's... You got a good garden space. Already I can tell you got a good garden space, Glenn. Oh, and an arch. I am a sucker for an arch. I love a good arch. Very nice, very nice. You're using the space well as well. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful looking garden already, but there's not too much going on. And also I really like that I don't see a whole lot of gravel. One thing that I've seen in landscaping that really annoys me is the gravel. The overabundance of gravel in some people's gardens. But this is a really nice, like, And it's very clear that you like to grow things, because this is a fantastic, fantastic space. I'm very envious. Look at that. Oh, those are some beautiful flowers. It's making me want to plant flowers myself when I eventually get a garden. And the beautiful little cat statuette. I'm no huge fan of gravel. Yeah, after my heart there. I really dislike gravel in garden spaces. Unless you're doing like landscaping and stuff, you don't need gravel. I dislike it. And these are some beautiful, beautiful flowers. Is that onions? Onions? Question mark? Stones or wood chips? Yeah, exactly. Stuff that actually like nurtures and provides sustenance for your garden. Don't know much about gardens, but yours looks good. Yes. It's pumpkins. Oh, they're okay. That makes sense. I knew like the leaves looked familiar, but yeah, it's just like onions? Nah. That makes perfect sense. Pumpkins. Yeah, nice. Wow. That's a beautiful, beautiful flower. That's amazing. And those are pumpkin flowers, like blooming pumpkins. Stone provides nutrients to plants. Well, not stones, the wood chip and stuff, but stones provide like a nice little cool spot for insects and things like that. Gravel kind of just suffocates the ground. A twin cucumber. Oh, cucumber. That makes sense. Twin cucumber. Even better. Yeah. And this little spot's great too. Is this the start? Yes, yes. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing these. I'm really inspired, but I'm also deeply unhappy that I don't have a garden now, because I've seen what you've done with your garden, and it is amazing. Stream recording. Just trying to remember which scene is mine that I need. That's so good. I love looking at plants. Plants are... I love looking at all sorts of plants. Even when I don't recognize them, I'm very impressed. Give you a quick wave, silent solidarity, as you've popped in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Yak cult. Did everything I could to avoid the cult, like, name, but we're here. Does the mouse not name their scenes? Does the mouse not name their scenes? I do, but they're fairly obscure. So this drawing one is called stream recording, which is no longer accurate because now I also do games. So this scene doesn't actually work for it. But then I've also got stream recording Zoom, so I actually also have a loop deck, which basically I can control all my things for. But stream recording Zoom is just this, which is all just zoomed in. The cult is unavoidable. It isn't. It is not avoidable. That is true. Eventually, you will all fall into the Yak cult. It's where you all belong. And where you're all accepted. And then I won't show you too many of the other ones because they don't matter. But yeah, so then you've seen the starting screen, but then I've also got the game starting screen. Screen. I keep saying scream. Screen. Get better at naming things. No, I refuse. I've got too many scenes to have really unique names. It'll just pile up. It's boring. It's boring and too sensible. And then I've got the posterior art, which you've seen. But then I've also got the break scene, which I use from time to time, but I rarely take breaks. Okay, suffering confusion. No. I also refuse to do that. So I got this one, which I will probably be updating at some point. Since I don't use it very often, I thought, I may as well move to something else. Something probably more simplified. But this is what it is. And also I don't look like that anymore. I used to look like that. Less so now. my model has changed so much. At work, they sometimes want to throw away plants because they're not selling, and most of the time you can rescue them and take them home. That's awesome. That's, like, you're living the dream there. That's excellent. I've only ever had one occasion like that, and it's also because I don't work in a plant-based workplace, I guess. But I've gotten to take plants home because they were going to throw them away otherwise. And I'm like, no, please, gimme, gimme. Underwent character development. Exactly. I stopped being explicitly a mouse and became maybe a mouse? Or maybe something in a mouse costume? Or maybe a mouse in a mouse costume? We can't be sure. Free plants. Yeah, the best thing ever. One of the best things ever. Detail. Free anything. Yeah. Best thing ever. If it's free, it's for me. Clearly a hamster in a rat costume, in a mouse costume? Maybe. Maybe. In this weather, absolutely not, because it's too bloody warm. But winter, potentially. I like to leave it up to interpretation. Maybe it will get more explicit, or explained. But until then, guess. I also got the garden arch for free because your neighbors redesigned their garden. Nice, that's even better, because like stuff like that is rarely ever inexpensive as well. I always find they always sell those, not for a huge markup, but they always cost more than you expect. The purple plant is Calathea rossopicta. A dotty. Oh, right, I know of them, yes. On your garden shelf. Yes, I've seen them. I've seen them at my local plant nursery, and I've always been tempted to get them. But then I also remember that where I live, and I'm like, no, I can't do that to my, to do, I can't do that to something so beautiful. Can't put it in that position. It will suffer and die. Doesn't deserve that. And I'll be honest, I've not taken good care of my plants recently. They're doing okay, but, you know, because the hours I've worked and stuff, they're not doing as good as they could be, really. In the wild, they are like low-lying plants on the ground in shady locations, almost like small clams growing on the ground. Ah, interesting. So they grow taller through human intervention. Haha, nice. Bloody humans. I was also going to say at one point I alluded to maybe I was a cursed spirit in a different stream, or that I was like a cryptid in another stream. Yeah, the wild ones have short stems. Ah, interesting. How curious. I kind of like, yeah, that, I mean, and they're beautiful, because they're the ones with the spots and stuff. The little white spots. They look great. They are a nice indoor plant to have. And I'll go with a few darker spots on the trees. Oh, that's not... It's not the space for things. Also probably pop a few flowers on this as well. Now that we can see some trees and some bark, it's probably worth it. Oh no, I've got it right there. I don't need to figure out the lighting. Oh, this one needs motion lines, doesn't it? Ugh. Work. Effort. Yuck. That does look good though. As a that's like the most minimalist background I've worked on recently. Other than, I guess, the previous one, but this one still looks like I'm satisfied with how it looks. Whereas the previous one, I'm like, well, I could probably go back and draw some rubble on the ground. But I don't know if it's necessary. Did I actually just fill this in? Wow, Jesus. Fool. Fool, Grey Mouse. That's just too dark. That's better. Ooh, smiley. I forgot to mention, I've added a new redeem which was inspired by a redeem I learned about today on someone else's stream, and they said it was totally okay for me to do, to steal, essentially. But I am crediting them for it. But Torin Talks Creatively, they have a redeem which is draw Pokemon from memory. And I have a terrible memory for Pokemon, because I haven't played Pokemon in years. But I have added that as a redeem. Just like the warm-up, it's like first in gets it, essentially. But I thought I'd let people know. And because I know, Smiley, you're a big fan of Pokemon, had a feeling you would appreciate that. There it is. Oh wait, does it not have a text box? I didn't include a text box in it. Let me know which Pokemon you want me to draw from memory. Silent redeemed. Silent, you stole it from Smiley. No. No text box shame. No. Just tell me. Just tell me. And I'll draw it. Mudkip. Oh no. Oh, I know Mudkip. I know Mudkip. Okay. And it's from memory, so it's going to be bad. But maybe it also won't be. We'll find out. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll be okay. Mudkip's this one, right? It has like almost those axolotl like bits, doesn't it? I did a thievery, my apologies, as you can see. Missing still a few there. And I'll look up Mudkip after it as well. So then we can see how badly I did or how well I did. Probably badly, let's be honest. Noise. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad, we'll find out. I can, like, and this is probably where a lot of my problems are going to arise, where I can remember the face of the Pokemon, maybe. And and let's be honest, I'll be able to remember the face of the Pokemon better than the Pokemon itself. Like, the rest of the Pokemon I will just do terribly with. It is fine, I like seeing Pokemons. Nice. Now, the legs. What do Mudkip's legs look like? Do a remembering. Does he have a tail? This is where it's gonna get bad. It's terrible. I could see why Torin does this. Because it's hilarious, but also keeps you humble. This is very, very normal legs. Well, not normal. Definitely not for Mudkip. This is... Oh my god. This is like a beaver. I've drawn Mudkip, but if Mudkip were a beaver type Pokemon. And really, like, depressed. Why is my Mudkip so depressed? Laughs while face palming. Yeah, well, I told you it was not going to be good. I think the last Pokemon I played was in 2016, if that gives you any context. I'm gonna leave that as it is. Or is it like that? Instead of like the axolotl ones, it's just like that. Whip. I don't like the legs either. Gotta be honest. Oop. Let's do that. That almost makes it look more scary. Like, just the weird blobby legs almost makes it look more scary. More unnerving. This is a Mudkip, but if it was like a single parent and it just walked in on their kid drawing all over the walls in crayon. Which is not how I imagine most Mudkips to look. On the bright side, this pen is, like, this brush pen is pretty okay. I don't mind it. Alright, now I'm gonna look up Mudkip. Alright. If I asked you to draw Mars Stomp, you would have done great. Oh no! I just saw him. No! I drew the wrong evolution. Oh, this one's really cute. Hold on. Let me show you. No! I'm so disappointed in myself. That's what it looks like. And I was drawn a really depressed, bad version of it. No! 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 Don't look. Don't look, Mudkip. That's not you. I mean, weirdly enough, the legs are kind of right. I'll give it the little bulby tail. But I'm not gonna cheat. This is like a really depressed version. Let me just make it less depressed, because I feel really bad. I mean, it does have a sad little mouth, though. Not in a mean way. Valiant effort. No, it was terrible. You at least got the evolutionary line right. That's true. If I'd drawn, like, a Machamp, then I deserve to be just... I deserve to have my stream, like, just banned, I think. Look at that. It's pretty... I mean, like, okay. I'll write it, so... Mudkip. I think next time I'll also like include that you guys can describe the Pokemon to me in a little bit of detail, but not immense detail. Also, hi Winter, how you doing? Hi Winter, how you doing? I hope you are well. We were working on the comic. Now we're just drawing Pokemon. I'll pop it in the warm-up page as well. So moving it, chilling. That's good. Chilling like this Mudkip. This is not a Mudkip. This is not a Mudkip. It's a not. It's a not correct. Stomp. That's how little I know about Pokemon. So, clearly that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a very fun redeem because you're going to watch me really struggle. It'll be like when I was asked to name every single American state. It'll be that inconsistent. Because I might get one that I know and I'm like, I'm going to smash this. And then I just do it. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. I might just kill it, and that's great. But then it'll usually be like something where I'm given a Pokemon that I don't know, and I'm just like, I'm gonna really suffer. I can get like 15 states. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You're from Texas. Sorry. My brain was just like, that's pretty good. Wait a second, you're from Texas, so you should know 15 at least. No, that's pretty good. I'm not, like, definitely not gonna critique, like, oh! G'day, Snee, how you doing? Hey, that's my state. Hey, we got another Texas. I named one state. How you doing, Snee? Let me give you a quick shout out. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? What were you streaming? And were you having a good time streaming it? Welcome, 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 raiders. Thank you so much for joining. We're currently just finishing up this panel, and then we'll be finishing the page. Wrapped on Act 2 of Baldur's Gate. Hey, that's awesome. I'm just about to get into Act 2, so no spoilers, but like, how was it? Did you have fun? I know about Act 2, so feel free to spoil it as well. You're totally okay. But yeah, oh man, what a game. What a game. Well, it was fun. Hey, love to hear that. Yeah, no, I love Baldur's Gate. It's the one game I'm playing for fun right now. Other than Subnautica, Nier, but I play them on stream, so they don't count. They do count, but they don't count. It's always a great time. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've had so much fun with it. I've not taken it like super seriously, but I've really enjoyed not taking it seriously. And it's been, yeah, it's such a beautifully made game. Like, you can tell there's love put into it. So every time, like, I think about it all the time, which is such a nice thing, like, a nice thing to feel about a game. It feels like it's been such a long time since I felt that. The team at Larian has been so amazing. Oh yeah, like, cause didn't they post a update recently? A patch, which improved kissing. The Valentine's Day patch, which made kissing like added kissing animations, like bigger, better kissing animations. I have not seen them yet. I've not seen all of them yet, but I have seen some of the Astarian ones, which are, whew, pretty saucy. Sorry, I feel like such a dweeb saying that, but like, pretty impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. Makes me almost want to romance Astarion, if you catch my drift. So glad I'm a VTuber because like I just did the most awkward like hand movement where I just raised my hands in such an awkward way. As if I was trying to get a crowd to laugh with me. But yeah, oh man, I'm so keen to start kissing my teammates. He's normally the only one that likes your tab early on. Oh yeah, that's fair. Well, if I can remember my interaction with Astarion early on, he did draw a knife on me. But he is also voiced by Neil Newborn. Is that him? Who is fantastic. And I loved him as Kamsky from Detroit Become Human. So I knew I was going to love him in this. He seems like such a nice guy. A chill bean. Soft. A soft brush. Just a light soft brush. There you go. And what do you think of my mudkip? My mudkip in the warm-up space? I was asked to draw a Pokemon from memory from the Redeem, and I think I did pretty good. I did not do good. I was terrible. This is the worst mudkip anyone has ever seen. It's a high evolutionary mudkip, but like evolved the wrong way. I love Smiley's positivity. I did draw Marsh Stomp, yeah, I did. What do you think of my Marsh Stomp? I'll take it in my stride. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Other than, oh wait, no, it's not pretty much everything. I've got other shadows to draw. I have my second layer of shadows now. You drew a Marsh Stomp, but that hasn't lost the baby fat from its Mudkip days. Yeah, it's a Marsh Stomp that's kind of like in between that puberty stage, you know? It's slowly growing out of its little baby appearances. But still little baby. That's too much. That's too much shadow. Let me just fill this in. Can't wait to get a Pokemon that I know. I know well. If I ever get a Slowpoke, it's over. It's over for y'alls. I know that Pokemon like the back of my hand. It's my favorite Pokemon, for those of you who want to know. The one and only. That and Bonsly. I frickin' adore Bonsly. Bonsly's just a cutie. Just a little cutie patootie. Is that everything? I can hardly tell. It's so scattered. Draw up to that. If you get a Pikachu and get it wrong, you're a failure of a Pokemon, especially since Smiley probably face you a reference. That's true. If I mess up Pikachu, you're well within your rights to make fun of me. I think that is an unforgivable mistake. That is unforgivable. That's a cardinal sin right there. If I mess up a Pikachu. Yeah. I hope I don't get... If I did get a Pikachu and I got it wrong, then you could clearly tell that there was something wrong with me on that day. Like I was drawing with like a migraine, and so it's like this really smeared looking Pikachu. That's the only excuse, but I feel like it's fairly inexcusable if I messed up a Pikachu. I've made terrible mistakes that day. And then back to the eraser. And erase for light. I do like this part because it really looks cool. Not a Pikachu. Alright, thanks for the reference. I'll make sure. Okay, that's good. I'm building my visual library of what a Pikachu is not. What a Pikachu does not look like. Alright, that's a good... Alright, I've got that down. That's not a Pikachu. Him, that thing, not Pikachu. Is it a Gyarados, though? That looks like a... I almost said that looks like a Mudkip. That looks like a Magikarp. Also not a Pikachu. Sure about that? Are you sure? Kind of looks Pikachu-esque. It's got the same kind of Pikachu-ness, Pikachu mannerisms. If they were walking away from me on the streets, would I be able to tell? That's my gauge of reference for Pikachu. That looks like it could be voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Huh. That's not Pikachu, it's wearing a mask. That can't be Pikachu. No. No, that's not Pikachu, that's El Lucha Libre... not Pikachu. You sure? Looks like a little animal. That could cast lightning. Libra Pikachu. Ah. So it's related to Pikachu. Is Beans. Ah, is not Pikachu, is Beans. Of course. Now I understand. This is a Pikachu probably. Hold on. Let me take a closer look. Let me put my glasses on. Yeah, that's Pikachu. That's Pikachu. Looks like Pikachu. It's got the two Pikachu ears. It's got a smile on its face. Pikachu. Wait a second. Hold on a minute. How could I miss this? Pikachu! My community says it's their Lord and Savior, Queen Beans. Well, Queen Beans is fabulous, so I can believe that. Look at it. Little Pikachu-like ears. Pika-Pee? Use Thunderbolt Pikachu. Eyes. It's got little cheeks, chubby cheeks. That's Pikachu. Wait a second. Have I broken international copyright laws? Does he have a tail like Pikachu? Sadly, no. Ratchet doesn't have a tail. Actually, he doesn't seem to be like Pikachu at all. At least not what I know from the anime. The popular children's anime. Pokemon. You know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this isn't Pikachu. Maybe it's just Ratchet. Maybe he is just Ratchet. That's good enough for me. Ah, ow. Slammed my arm into my own desk like a fool. He doesn't even have lightning powers, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe he's not Pikachu. He's a good little bean, though. But he's also... That's not to say that he is Bean, either. Because Bean is a rabbit. Also not Pikachu. You must be quite tired now. Do I sound like I'm at the end of my mental capacity? Beans is a rabbit, yes. That I know. We're almost done, so I will be finishing up soon enough. How are you doing, Smiley? How are your tests going? We're almost done. I just need to do light and then movement. Movement channels. And then I'll give you gang a little sneak preview at the next page, because we'll be finished with this page tonight, which is awesome. Gonna just slam my finger down on just a bunch of keys, and it still managed to spell light, which is good, because that was what I intended to write. But I was really playing a risky game there. Oh, it's fine, you have 3 or 4 papers left. Hey! Nice. That's easy. It'll be over in a real quick one. In a real tick. Just want to hug him? Ratchet or Beans? Either or is a correct answer. Or that mushroom. That mushroom emote. Also very huggable. Ratchet's pretty huggable. Actually, and that's the thing, Ratchet loves a hug. He's about 3 foot tall. Very small. Very warm bean. Very huggable. Loves a hug. I wanted to make plushies of him because he is just so huggable. But sadly, Makeship don't care for me. Just a small streamer still, so can't get plushies made with them yet. But one day. One day. Listening out for the text-to-speech. Is it not working? Oh no! Why not both? One day. Where's my text-to-speech? Ah! It's broken. I'll need to fix that. There's always just a quick... Like, there's always something that's, like, a little bit broken. Text-to-speech, sadly, is one of them, it seems. The where is Mort seems to work, which is a text-to-speech, but I guess this doesn't. Weird. Alright, light. Yep, that's how streaming is. Yeah, exactly. I've been robbed. Don't worry, I'll refund you. I will refund you for that, don't worry. Or I'll just read it out loud. Give Ratchet hugs now or else. There you go, text-to-speech. I'm taking your money. No, I'm joking. Got him. Scammed you. Like a car salesman of Twitch. Just rip people off. Might just give him a bit more light. Just a bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. Scammed. Scamming ya. Scammer got scammed, bruh. And then I'll do the text for this page either tonight or tomorrow. And then it'll be up on my Ko-fi for those of you who are members. So members get access to the comic page by page as opposed to chapter by chapter. But the transaction was honored. Technically, I did do what was asked. Text did become speech, but I don't mind. I don't mind refunding you the 200 bits. But I will give you a sneak preview at the end of every completed page. So this is what we're looking forward to next time, which will be tomorrow. But Here we go. We've got another series of panels, so the person following Ratchet slowly gets closer. Progressively getting closer to our little bean. The movement that we got to see at the end of this comic, Ratchet's arms swinging up into the air, moves into him going into a handstand. And then we get to see his little feet dip down as we get a fun little panel of him launching himself into the air. Tomorrow is today if I don't sleep. Well, that's true. That is true. In that case, for you who isn't sleeping, today we will be drawing and filling in this next page after a quick and little break of probably like 16 hours. And then we get a little bit more like movement and stuff at the end of this page. But that is for next time. We get a little bit of an ear wiggle too, which is going to be super cute. I love the ear wigglies, like the little ear wiggling bits where Ratchet just flaps his ears about. It's very cute. Okay, let us first export. Export as a JPEG. Let me scratch my itchy nose as this does it. It was a super detailed page. It took almost a month to finish, but still really good. I'm still really happy with how it turned out. 16-hour break sounds reasonable. Yeah, I only do breaks in 16-hour blocks. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, actually, sometimes more. Alright, let's see who's live tonight for a cheeky raid. We almost did 3 hours as well, which is my usual streaming time. And I'll probably start doing that again now that I'm only streaming 4 nights a week. Okay, so we have Enya, who's playing full stream. We've got Nev, who's doing art. We've got Galacticat, who's also doing art. Rat Banshee playing Resident Evil 2. Miyu Kays, whom is also doing art. Who else do I have? Oh, it's my own voice. And Stephen Preston. Okay. If anyone has any preferences or if anyone has a suggestion, I am more than happy to hear you out. Let me know. Still looking at that. Marsh Stomp. Very cute. Spin the victim wheel. I have a wheel. Hold on. Do I got any dice? Do I have some D&D dice? I usually always have dice. They're all gone. Time to find out who shall be pillaged. You're right. I'm gonna just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We have 6 other streamers, so roll D6. D66, no, just a D6. The number is 3, so we will be raiding 1, 2, 3 Galacticat. Let's get raiding. Let me just check that she's still live. That'd be embarrassing, raiding into someone who's gone. She seems to still be live. Vitum acquired. We've got ourselves a Vitum. Victim. Alright, let's begin the raid. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to Snee for the raid. I'll see you all tomorrow for another art stream, but until then, bye.